Here. This is wonderful. We are excited to kick off a long and never ending series on webinars and how we're going to help you guys in our Acumatica world see new things and new opportunities and new innovations that hit our Acumatica life every single day. We're happy to kick off this series with the one and only Velixo. So I've got a couple people on my end, and I'm so excited to introduce you to them. So we've got Amy. Amy is our business development. More than likely, you have heard from Amy in this upcoming prior to the webinar series, because she was the one just letting you know that things are out there. We're making things happen over here at iTech, and we're starting out this webinar series, and it's going to be great. And come to our first one because we've got a rock star panelist that is just going to wow you from an Excel standpoint, and how Acumatica can really leverage a lot of your business intelligence and analytics, and how easy we can make it from not only exporting things to Excel, doing manipulations in Excel, and then also that write back feature. And hopefully I didn't just blow the lid off of all of the things we're going to go over, huh? But we have Velixo here in house. We also have from the iTech team, we have Robin, and Robin is another salesperson here at iTech, and she actually has a ton of clients on the call today. And please note that if you have any other questions regarding this webinar and what Hansa and Anthony are going to show you in a little while, if you have any questions, Robin and I are 100% on the ball and can get you quoting and set up follow-up meetings and stuff to show how Velixo can pretty much revolutionize your day-to-day life from an operations standpoint inside of Acumatica. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Hansa, and you can go ahead and introduce your team.
Well, thanks for the intro, Nancy, and we appreciate the privilege of going in first in your webinar series. Thanks everyone for joining us today. We're close to 100 people, which is awesome. For today's presentation, I'm going to start by giving you a quick presentation of Velixo, so a little bit of history about the company, what is the problem that we essentially address, and how do we solve it. Right after that, it's going to be followed by a live demo of the tool. We're going to build a quick trial balance just for you to understand the dynamics behind it. We're also going to cover many other interesting features. We'll also run a quick raffle for a $50 Amazon gift card, so make sure you stick around. And right after that, we're also going to have a Q&A session to answer any questions you might have regarding to the tool. By the way, we're going to be in for about a 15 to 20 minutes demo. Feel free to input your questions in the chat while I'm moving along with the presentation, and I'll be sure to address them towards the end of the session. With that being said, let's kick it off. So what is Velixo essentially? So Velixo is simply an Excel add-in that serves as a live and bi-directional connector between Acumatica and Excel. So it will allow you to extract all the data that lives in Acumatica, export it to Excel, kind of perform your magic on Excel, and once it's done, you can seamlessly push that data back to Acumatica. For the little story, we were founded in 2017 by Gabriel Michaud, who is an ex-Acumatica leader, who saw the opportunity to build Velixo as an Excel add-in because he witnessed that so many users kept going back to Excel for their reporting needs. Fast forward a couple of years, we were awarded #1 application on the Acumatica ecosystem, and users most likely to recommend by G2. We now operate in all time zones thanks to a distributed team, as you can see on the map. We work with over 200 VARs, and we serve a little over 2,500 customers. So what is the problem that we solve? So we do solve the problem with manual spreadsheets. And the problem with manual spreadsheets resolves to a few issues. Well, first thing first, it's a completely disconnected experience, and the data becomes obsolete the second you export it to Excel. So for this reason, it becomes repetitive and time-consuming to produce reports. And it's also incredibly error prone, and governance issues can happen as it can get challenging to manage document access and security for your whole team. And on top of that, any changes made to the data in Excel would only be transferable to Acumatica by manually entering it, which is highly inefficient. So there you go. Here's the solution. Our Excel add-in can be added from Excel and configured to connect to Acumatica within minutes. I'll walk you through the installation process in a minute. It offers real-time reporting experience with full exploration capabilities in Excel and Acumatica. And on top of that, it comes with samples to get you started. It allows you to write the data back to Acumatica for scenarios like budgeting, forecasting, automation of business processes. You can write back to the general ledger, project management, and also any other module that lives in Acumatica. It's fully self-service. It won't require much training to master it thanks to its native Excel-like functions. And it lets you connect to Velixo using your Acumatica credentials. So it's built this way because we're automatically going to mirror the exact same level of security that is set up in your ERP. And lastly, it's Excel. So users benefit from the entire Microsoft 365 ecosystem for a better collaboration and automation overall. And just to close it off, here's a little slide with some of our happy customers. As you can see, we're industry agnostic, meaning we can be used in different types of businesses. And nice little fact, I always love to bring this one up. KFC is actually our first customers. I don't know if we have any fans in the audience, but just thought I would let you know. So I'll quickly stop screen sharing my deck and let's go to Excel. Perfect. Just confirming you can see my screen, Nancy. Excel, it's on Excel, right?
Everything looks great. Yep, wonderful.
Perfect. Perfect. So as you can see, I am now on Excel. I got a little trial balance template ready, but first thing I'm going to show you is how to get Velixo going on your devices. Okay, so it's simply an Excel add-in. There's no implementation required. The installation process is very swift and easy. You can add it directly from your Excel homepage by using the little add-in section right here. So you can click on it and look for Velixo. Once you found it, you can simply click on add and it's going to be good to go. So again, the process is swift and easy and it looks like adding any other Chrome extension to your browser. Once this is done, you'll notice this new Velixo icon on your screen. If I click on it, it opens the connection manager on my right, which we're going to use in a minute. And it will also add this Velixo tab here on the ribbon. So if I click on it, now back to this view, you'll notice that we've added multiple features to Excel and about 90 Velixo formulas. So I'll walk you through the refresh process. We're going to use the connection manager in a second. This is essentially what sets up the connection between Acumatica and Excel. We're also going to look at the drill down functionality. This will allow you to click on any given cell on any given sheet and go back to that source transaction page in Acumatica. So a very solid feature for consolidations, for example. Next, we're going to look at the distribution list. I really like this feature as well. It will allow you to distribute either internally or externally your reports from a single template. So it will save you tons of time. And in between, we're going to look at how to report on Acumatica generic inquiries using the GI formulas. And lastly, we're going to look at the writebacks. So there are 4 different types of writebacks, and I'll briefly explain every single one of them. So let's get going with our trial balance. First thing we're going to need to do is set up the connection. So connection manager, and then add a connection. I'm already connected, so I'll simply edit this one right here. Well, first thing first, it's prompting me to pick a name for my connection. Always try to keep this one short, as you're going to have to reference it in the Velixo formulas. And it's going to make a little bit more sense in 30 seconds. For this example, I'm going to name it demo. Next, you're going to need your URL and your tenant, which you can simply copy and paste from your Acumatica login page. So URL from here and tenant from here. As you can see in my demo instance, I do have multiple tenants. So I'll start by connecting the first one, company. And there you go. So my URL is in the right spot, my tenant as well. And in here, I can simply input my Acumatica credentials. If you're looking to use SSO, well, you can simply click on sign in with Acumatica and then connect. There you go. Now you probably see it coming. If I have multiple tenants and I've just connected the first one company, of course, I can go ahead and add a second connection for my second tenant and a third one for the third tenant, and so on and so on. Question that comes up quite often, am I able to pull data from multiple tenants at simultaneously? Yes, you can even push back data to multiple tenants simultaneously. Now, let's build our trial balance. So to pull my chart of accounts, I'm going to use one of the 90 Velixo formulas that we've put into a button right here called Insert Chart of Accounts. And insert. Now, if you look at the formula box, this is the formula that we're currently executing. Expand account range from my demo connection. If you remember, on my connection manager right here, I named my connection demo. I could have named it Velixo, for example. You can name it after your company if you wish to. Now, to pull my account names, I'm going to use another Velixo formula, which is account name. And you'll notice that first thing first, our formulas are Excel-like formulas. And they're pretty straightforward. So when I'm trying to pull my account name, the formula is called account name. Later on, I'm going to pull the balance. My formulas are either called account ending balance or account beginning balance, and so on and so on. And on top of that, you'll always have this little window help that pops up, kind of acting as your coach here, prompting you to input the next step. So in here, I'll input my connection name, demo, and my account code. Let's just go ahead and specify the whole set. There you go. Another piece that is important is that for all of the reports that you're going to build on Excel using Velixo, will always showcase dynamic information. What I mean by that is that let's say I go back to Acumatica and I change one of my account names in my general ledger accounts. Let's say I switch this one to petty cash iTech. As soon as I come back to my workbook and I use the refresh functionality right here, the name change will reflect right away. As you can see here in the refresh functionality, you have the ability to refresh one report at a time, your entire workbook, or if you have multiple workbooks all open and you would like to refresh them all at the same time, you can go for it. And all of the reports, again, you're going to build on Excel using Velixo. It is going to be a one-time thing. So you build your report, and moving forward, your report becomes the template. So let's pull our ending balance. So again, I'll follow my coach's instructions. So I'll do my connection name. I'll specify my ledger, my account code, and my financial period. You'll probably notice that I am skipping some parameters, but of course, I'll explain. So it is now computing my calculation. There you go. So let's say I would like to have a little bit of help or assistance in regards of my formula. My bad. Let me just put this one right here. And there you go. Now, let's say I would like to have a little bit of guidance when it comes to inputting parameters into this formula. Well, you can simply click on the hyperlink right here on the formula, and it is going to open our knowledge base for you. So on our knowledge base, you will find kind of little cheat sheets for every single formula. So you'll find help regarding the syntax, the parameters, which one are required, which one are optional, a description per parameter, and 2 to 3 examples to help you pick it up a little bit faster. For example, in this formula right now, as you can see, I could have refined by sub-account, by branch, but just to keep the example short, I skipped them. And as you can see, these are optional parameters. By the way, on this same knowledge base, if you go, for example, to the Acumatica space, you'll find many useful resources, such as how-to guides, free templates, you'll find videos, and also articles covering different topics, such as consolidation with multi-currency reporting, consolidation with eliminations, and so on and so on. Now from here, let's say I want to compare two different ledgers. All I need to do is copy and paste my formulas to the side. And I can, let's say I want to compare my actual to my budget. Well, there you go. And as you can see, my report is updating in real time. Now let's go back to the actual. And of course, same thing applies for the financial period. Maybe I want to compare 2020 against 2019. There you go. And here's the beauty of it. We are still in Excel. So let's say I want to run a consolidation or I want to know the variance. Well, I can simply run an Excel formula, which is relatively simple in this case. So this cell minus this one, and there you go. But the idea is just to showcase that you can kind of mix and match the Velixo along with the Excel formulas for budgeting purposes, what if scenarios, and so on and so on. Now, last thing that I want to show you here before we move on to the next thing is a nice little way we've came up with for you to group your accounts. And I'll show you how we've done it in a P&L, and it's going to make a little bit more sense again. By the way, if you have any questions up until now, please go ahead and input them in the chat. I'll be sure to address them in our Q&A session. So essentially what I did now is that I just copied and pasted my formulas in the cells, as you can see, but it's showing value because I need to specify a set of accounts. So let's say I want to pull data for a list. I want my account 10,100, my account 10,300, and let's go a little bit further to pull 15,300. There you go. You can also prompt it to do a range, not necessarily a list. So maybe from 10,100 up to 15,300. There you go. And you can also use what we call wildcards. So let's say you want all of the accounts starting with 11. Well, simply complete the number of digits. Yes?
We're not seeing anything changing on the screen. So I'm not sure if we're still seeing what you're seeing.
You mean, is it freezed? Can you see, for example, right now, 11 with 3 question marks?
Nope. We just see the ledger, the actual, and the budget, and your cursor is on column D.
Okay, yes. So it is definitely freezed.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe you can showcase those features. Just do it one more time.
Yes, thanks for catching it,
There you go.
Nancy. So
Yeah.
I'll go over it again.
Yeah. Well, I just thought you were really fast right away. And I was like, golly, he's really fast.
Oh my gosh, I did not realize. So you know what? I'll be
No,
sure to
no,
double
good.
check that we're on the same screen.
Right. And like we said, you guys, the world is your oyster with Velixo. So if you have any questions, we would love to take them. Please put them in the chat and we can address them after the demo here. All
Thank
right,
you,
we
Nancy.
see it and it looks
Perfect. Do
good.
you see
It looks
line
like we're
6?
moving. Yeah.
Perfect. So I'll quickly recap eventually where we stopped before. So I simply copied the formulas from the cell C to D and compared two different ledgers by simply updating the data in here. Then I did the same for my financial period. As you can see, I'm comparing 20 against 19. And then I've simply went ahead and calculated the variance between these two financial periods, computing a simple Excel formula. Now, I went ahead and copied my and pasted my formulas in these cells, okay? And I am now pulling the data for all of the accounts starting with 11. I can also pull for a list of accounts by manually entering them. So let's say I want 10,100 versus 10,300 and 15,300. I can
We
simply list them. Did the
I'm
number
so
update
sorry.
now?
We're not seeing those screens. So maybe potentially you should reshare and actually share the screen versus just the window because we're not seeing anything that's popping up. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. I'll do it. Let me just see if it. Nope.
Okay, so maybe
Mm,
I'll one of my coworkers just said maybe we should turn off the video and that might make a difference.
maybe I'll do it. Yes.
Okay.
Let's try
Okay.
this.
Yeah. I and
Yep.
I just want everyone to understand how easy and simplistic it is to utilize the tool. Therefore, I don't want to miss anything that you're showing on the screen.
Yes. Yes. Good catch, Nancy. We don't want you to miss any action. I am unfortunately not able to screen share just the
Okay.
window, or at least I just don't know how to do it now. So
Nope, that's just fine. Let's just keep on going. If people have questions on exactly what you're doing and how you're typing and what's going into every single cell within inside of it, Excel, we can always take this up later too. So,
Perfect. Perfect. Let's do
yep.
it this way.
Sounds great.
So I am just going to skip that part that is causing us a little bit of trouble right now. And I am currently on a P&L template. So essentially, this sample pack that I have open right now is available on the knowledge base free of charge. So you can use the reports in here as a plug and play. You can use them for inspiration. It's your call. So it has a P&L, a consolidated one showcasing branches side by side. It has a trailing one showing financial periods side by side. A profit dashboard, again, just to remind you that you can have dashboards on Excel as well. And you can even have your Acumatica dashboard update based off the dashboards that live in Excel. And I also have a cash flow statement, a proper trial balance this time, a P&L by week, and so on and so on. So let's go back to this P&L. If I click on the little plus right here to unhide my filters, can you see this part, Nancy?
We cannot. We just see a trial balance. Oh, now we're at the P&L. So
Perfect.
now
So I'll keep into account there's a little buffer time. So now on
perfect.
the P&L, essentially, I just clicked on the little plus right here to unhide the filters and show you the structure behind this P&L. So essentially, we've listed our account classes here to pull our revenue. Okay. In here, we've used the wildcard technique to pull our cost of goods sold. And in here, we've simply listed individual account classes to pull our operating expenses. Now, what I want to show you here is the drill down functionality. So let's say you want to know what is this number made of, your total expenses. You can simply click on this cell and then click on drill down up top right here. Once I click on it, it will initiate the drill down process to open up a new sheet for me listing all the transactions involved in that number. There you go. Now from here, I already have a good picture. I can check my descriptions. I can check the balances if I want to have a little bit in the number of views. I can check to which branch this is assigned, and so on and so on. So for example, if I want to look at this travel expense into a little bit more details, I can click on the hyperlink right here that says view transactions, and it will open Acumatica for me on the actual transactions page. There you go. So
We had a great question from Debbie from the audience. Is
yep,
everything that you're showing just right out of the box? Like, is this truly, honestly, Velixo out of the box, and I don't need to have a programmer on staff?
that's exactly it. Yep.
Excellent.
That's
Debbie, do you
that's
have
actually
any
the
other
whole
questions?
idea behind Velixo is that you don't need to be an expert to use it, or you don't need consultants or anything of
Right.
that nature. If you, we have actually a nice little quote on our website that says, "If you know how to Excel, you know how to Velixo," because it's that simple. If you know how to use Excel, you're going to be more than fine using Velixo.
I love it. I love it. That's great. So, Debbie, to answer your question, yes, everything that we're showing you today is just available out of the box.
Correct. So yep,
Excellent. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to get the questions answered.
no worries at all. I appreciate the question. So yeah, from here, once you've opened up the page in Acumatica, you can dig even further to go ahead and open the actual invoice for this transaction. So if you have any questions about how the drill down works, please go ahead and input questions in the chat. We'll be sure to look at them. Next piece is the distribution list. So let's say you've just went through a closing period and now it's time to share reports either with your board members, I don't know, maybe to external people, does not matter. You can simply click on new list right here up top and it is
Oh,
going to populate this exact template for you.
comes out we're not seeing. Oh, okay. Now we saw it. It just updated. Okay.
Perfect. You know what? I'll wait until you're on the same screen as me, and then I'll start explaining. So I was saying, you can click on New List, and it populates this exact template for you, from where you can choose under which format you want to share your reports. So you can go for an Excel format. You can choose to remove the Velixo formulas in case you're sharing with somebody that does not have access to Velixo. You can choose to remove all the formulas, including Excel ones, or simply share it under a PDF format. File name is self-explanatory. You will simply need to name your file. Tab selection. Um, in here, you will simply need to list which sheets or which reports you want to share with that specific contact, because of course you are not forced to share your whole workbook. And folder path, if you guys are using a cloud saving solution such as SharePoint, OneDrive, whatever it may be, simply input the folder path in here and it is going to save it into that space. From here, relatively simple, email contacts, subject, body, and you're good to go. So let's assume everything is ready here. I can simply click on distribute all right here. So I currently have the email delivery option and they're saved to drafts. So it will save them to my Outlook draft and I'll have to revise them. I'll show you how it looks. But if I want to avoid this little extra step, I can simply tick it under send immediately. So I will now move to Outlook just to show you how it looks like. And there you go. So as you can see, email contact is already in the right spot, email subject as well, email body. My attachment is here under the right format. Same thing for Jenny, who will receive it under a PDF format, and so on and so on. Now, from here, the only thing that I need to do is press the send button on my email. And again, if you'd like to avoid this little extra step, simply tick it under send immediately, and it will kick off the distribution process right away. Was everything good with this part? You were able to see Outlook?
If I hit send immediately, is it
Yeah.
still going to show the audit log from Acumatica's email in all emails? Am I going to still see that this was sent via Acumatica?
Not sure. But
Well,
I don't think I can look
I
into it. I'm gonna note this one
yeah,
down.
let's look into it because a lot of customers rely on that audit trail
Yeah.
when other customers are calling them back and saying, "Oh, I never received that invoice." And
Yep.
they can say, "Well, on Tuesday, I went ahead and sent it to XYZ email address and potentially that email address was incorrect and that's the reason they're not receiving it." So yeah, it would be nice if we could have this append to the actual audit log from an email standpoint.
That's actually very valid, Nancy. I'm already thinking about ways where we can make it kind of work this way. I just want to get, I don't want to get too much into it right now, but I already have an idea on how to make it work, essentially, if it
Yeah.
doesn't work already.
Excellent.
So it's noted. I'll be sure to get back to you on this one.
Okay, perfect.
Now, next piece is to report on generic increase. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now would apply to any of the modules that you have in Acumatica, except for the finance module. Okay, so essentially, in other words, any other module where you can spot the Velixo button right here. If you've never seen the Velixo button right here, don't worry about it too much. You can have it. It's easy. You will simply need to download customization packages and it will be available for you. So essentially this Velixo button, again, is just a shortcut to the formula I'm going to show you right now. So you can either simply click on the button or if you prefer to do it the hard way, just use the formula. So again, it will apply to the sales order module, times and expenses, opportunities, APs, ARs, does not matter. For this example, let's do it with APs. So on APs again, as you can see, we have the Velixo button again. So I'll do customization and edit generic inquiry. And I am not going to edit anything on Acumatica. I am simply trying to copy my inquiry title that I will need to reference in my formula. Now, back to Excel. So on my Excel, I'm going to use GI, which stands essentially for generic inquiry. Again, I told you formulas are pretty straightforward. And from here, I'll follow again the coach's instruction. So my connection name again, demo, and my inquiry name, AP bills and adjustments. There you go. Now, essentially what it is going to do is that it is going to pull all of these columns that you see right here in Acumatica. So my vendor, vendor name, description, status, all of these columns will be pulled to Excel. There you go. Now for reporting purposes, of course, you will not need all of these columns. You only want to keep the essentials, right? Well, instead of manually deleting columns, that's why Velixo exists, by the way, you can go ahead and dynamically select which columns you want to pull from Acumatica. It's an important piece because this is what is going to keep the dynamic aspect of your report. So I'll go ahead and say that I want to pull my vendor column, my currency column, and let's pull status as well. And there you go. So as you can see, it deleted all of the columns and pulled only 3 columns again from Acumatica from scratch. So now I have all the vendors, the transactions under all of the currencies, all the statuses. I can dynamically filter through this information again. So instead of using the local sort and filter from Excel, she's going to force you to export data every single time. Well, you can use GI filter. So let's say you only want to pull your transit vendor and the transactions under an open status. So I'll do GI, and you'll notice we have GI filter, we have GI lookup, and so on and so on. We're going to use GI filter this time. So I'll do my connection name, my inquiry title, and I'll start specifying my criteria. So I want vendor to be equal to whatever is in this cell, and I want status to be equal to whatever is in this cell, and enter. Now, as you can see, I have a dynamic filter ready. Vendor equals transit and status equals open. And if I go back to my initial formula, you'll notice I left a blank space between the 2 commas right here. Well, my coach says it's the place to input my filter. All I need to do is input my filter in the right spot and execute again. There you go. Now, of course, same concept applies. If I update my parameters, my report will update in real time. And you can, of course, have your vendors in a drop-down list in here and toggle in between them. You can have your customers in a drop-down list and toggle in between them. I mean, you can go as granular as you want. For example, if I go back to the initial P&L, where I showed you the little filtering techniques, if I click on the branch drop-down right here, you will notice again that this P&L is built dynamically. I can use the drop-down either to go from my consolidated P&L to a 2-branch P&L, to a 1-branch P&L. Let's, for example, update it to Service West. There you go. As you can see, updating my P&L and hiding my 0 rows automatically. So if you have any questions in regards to the GIs, please go ahead and input your questions in the chat. I'll be more than happy to address them in the Q&A session. We have a lot of customers using the GI formulas in kind of a creative way. We have some of them using it to build estimating tools. Let me show you this quick example before we cover writebacks. So we have customers that essentially build an estimating template on Excel. They are able to use the generic increase formulas to pull all of the items dynamically from Acumatica to be able to perform their estimates. And once this is all done, they are able to use the writebacks, which we're going to look at right now, to push it back to Acumatica into the sales order module, and from here safely process or smoothly process their orders. So yeah, Nancy.
This is literally my favorite part about the demo because it just
Perfect.
makes so much sense.
Love to hear it. So essentially, there are 4 different types of writebacks, and writebacks allow you to push data back from your Excel back to Acumatica. So you can push back journal transactions, you can push back your budgets, you can push back your project progression, and universal writeback translates to generic writeback essentially. So you can push back to any of the modules that exist in Acumatica using import scenarios. So journal transaction, same concept as for the distribution list. If I click on it, a template opens up for me right here. Okay, so this template is super customizable to fit your needs. Matter of fact, for this example, we're going to run this one that we've customized for this example. Nancy, just want to make sure I am kind of switching between the two sheets in a
Yep,
timely fashion.
good. I see it. It's perfect.
Perfect. It's going to be important here that you guys can see the two sheets. So I know the two templates look a bit different from the one that is automatically generated to the one that we've customized. Let me explain. So for now, we're going to forget about the table right here. Let's look at the blue boxes only. Okay. So in the blue boxes, you will need to specify essential parameters for Velixo to assess where it's writing back to in Acumatica. So in other words, to which connection, to which branch, to which ledger, under which currency, and so on and so on. Now, if you look at the one we've customized, here are our blue boxes. They are just outlined in a different manner. Now, if you look at the table, you've got your branch column, account, sub-account, project, debit, credit, and here's the example we've customized. You've got your branch column, account, sub-account, debit, and credit. Well, this was a non-project customer, so we've simply removed the project columns. Now from here, let's say my GL rate is not 3.3, maybe it's 8.8. I can simply change it. And now I want to push back these journal entries where it says GL entry back to Acumatica. So I'll simply click on perform write back right here up top and execute. So as soon as it's ready, it will open Acumatica for me. It takes under 20 seconds, as you will see it right now. It will open Acumatica for me on the journal transactions page. There you go. So here are my journal entries. Okay. I can check that this is assigned to the right branch, correct account. I can double check my figures. If everything makes sense to me, I can simply click on remove hold and release. So as soon as I click on release, it essentially translates to posting it in Acumatica now. It's no longer a draft. Now, budget write back works with the same dynamics. If I click on it, it opens up a template for me that I can customize based off my needs. I am now on the budget write back template that we've customized for a customer. So it has the little blue box concept as well to know to which branch you're writing back to which budget ledger, and so on and so on. And again, table is customizable to match whatever you're budgeting on, maybe labor hours, maybe machinery hours, I don't know, maybe payroll, does not matter. So the idea here is that you're going to be able to dynamically pull your accounts, sub-accounts, their description, and most importantly, prior year actuals directly from Acumatica. Then you can go ahead and mix and match the Velixo along with the Excel formulas to set up your what if scenarios in order to do some calculations for your upcoming periods. And once this is done, again, same concept, you would click on perform write back and it pushes your budgets to Acumatica on the budgets page. So on my Acumatica search bar, if I type budgets or if I simply go to my finance module, okay, so essentially, journal write back writes back to the journal transactions page, and budget write back writes back to the budgets page. Okay? And the only difference is that to release your budgets, you will simply need to click on release budgets. You click on it, and it will open up. Well, you will find all the budgets that you've pushed here, and you can simply click on release all to now have them on your Acumatica budget page.
I think this is probably one of the biggest use cases, especially when you guys first went to market, which you've gone you've gone just crazy with your uses, and your use cases for all different modules within inside the Acumatica ecosystem. But back when I started selling, budgets were a huge this was where you were going to use Velixo, and it was going to be just magic for you. And it just eliminated so much duplicate effort on
In
the end user side.
Indeed, confirming that it will definitely make your life much more easier. So yeah, do not hesitate to let us know if there are any kind of specific customization you're looking to get out of this template. We'll be more than happy to assist with that.
I know that when you guys started and you went to market with this, it's kind of morphed, and it's continuously grown from what you first envisioned this to be to what it is today. And you continuously are making improvements and providing different templates and stuff to users, right?
You want to know why, Nancy? It's
Why?
because we listen to our customers. So if you click on help right here, okay, so you're gonna find information, support, all of that stuff, and then you've got submit an idea. Okay, so if there's anything that you're looking to do that you think is super interesting and we just don't have the capability to do it with Velixo right now, just let us know about it. We might find it super interesting, and the next thing you know is that it's now available.
Right. And the nice thing about Velixo is that all their innovation and everything that's coming from them isn't, well, you have to buy this for this dollar amount, you have to upgrade this, or you're going to have to add this. And you guys just seem to be so much more in the mindset of one benefits, everyone benefits. That kind of, those templates that you make available for everyone is just so, it's just refreshing to work with a company like you guys.
Well, you've summed it up pretty well, Nancy. We're more focused on building a solid community right now rather than going on some aggressive pricing stuff. But anyway, next piece was the project write back. Let's just skip this one. Again, it follows the exact same dynamics as the previous two others. And the last one would be universal write back. So if I click on it, as you can see, it opens up the pane on my right, prompting me to pick an import scenario. Okay, so as you can see, you can write back bombs, you can write back customers, you can write back opportunities, you can even write back timesheets, literally anything. Okay, and if you're looking to work with an import scenario that you don't have yet, well, you can simply create one. And I'm pretty sure, Nancy, you're going to be much more relevant than me on speaking about this. But yeah, I've already did it in the past in a demo for a customer who was really looking to see it. As you can see, I have import client Hamza right here. I've done it under 5 minutes. Of course, it was not properly built, but yeah, building a proper one takes somewhere between, I don't know, I won't estimate, it's based off the complexity. So yeah, that was pretty much it for the tool. I will quickly stop screen sharing now, and I'll show
Hamza,
you
we
what.
do have one
Yeah,
question.
yes,
Um,
please.
so the question is, when a user is actually distributing the reports outside of their Acumatica ecosystem,
Yep.
are they still able to use the drill down option and
That's a
features?
very good question. No, they will not be able to use the drill down functionality because they will need Velixo access or Acumatica. They will simply need an Acumatica access. That's
Oh,
why on the distribution list, you have the ability to share the report with removing the Velixo formulas. This way, when you share the reports, results will remain there, but of course, that contact will not be able to perform a drill down.
that's a great question, and I think that it would be advantageous for the customers that are still on the call today to talk a little bit about pricing and how your licensing model works.
Absolutely. So yeah, just to reassure people, I can see we have questions on the chat. I'm coming back to that chat. I'll read everything in the chat and answer questions while Anthony will be running the raffle. For now, let's go ahead and address your pricing question, Nancy. So essentially, Velixo operates based off Acumatica tiers, okay? And the thing that I would like to start with first thing first is that when you purchase Velixo, it essentially translates to simply add in another module or another product to your Acumatica subscription, okay? So it will be under the same invoice, and whatever payment method you've agreed on with the iTech team will be matched. When it comes to pricing, again, we are based off Acumatica tiers. So I don't know, let's say you're an Acumatica M1. Well, Velixo pricing will be based off that. And you have pricing for Velixo reports, which essentially includes everything. Okay, nothing comes at an additional cost, like literally nothing. And the only thing that comes as an add-on is the universal write-back. So if you remember, I was showing you the write-backs. There are four different types. Journal transactions, budgets, and projects are included in that Velixo reports pack. And the only thing that comes as an add-on is the universal write-back. I'll be more than happy to share with you pricing details after the webinar on a personal basis, with, of course, highlighting the current discounts we're offering for you because you've attended this webinar. So can you see my slide on the screen, Nancy?
Yep, I can see it.
Perfect. So you are eligible for a 15-day of full access free trial. This way you can get your feet wet with the tool, kind of understand the dynamics behind it. You'll probably have some questions that arise. We'll be more than happy to assist during the trial period. And if you decide to move forward within your trial period, well, you can get you can enjoy an exclusive discount of 3 consecutive years with no commitment, of course. So it's 20% on the first one, 15 on the second, and 10% on the third year. Again, with no commitment, of course. So if you would like to get started with Velixo for free, simply let us know. We'll collect your Acumatica URL, and we'll get a trial going for you. Yep, so I can see Anthony just kicked off a quick poll right here. If you would like to have an additional demo, kind of a personalized or customized demo based off your own needs, go for it. Please book an individual meeting demo. If you would like to kick off the trial, just let us know. So we'll give it just 30 seconds for everybody to go ahead and answer the question in the poll. And right after that, we're going to kick off our raffle.
I think that it gives you extra good mojo if you fill out the polling question. Like you're gonna win. Everybody's gonna win. This is great, you guys. Thank you so much. There's so much. I know that as people are filling out the polling question, I know that we at iTech use Acumatica, which thank God, we use Acumatica, but I know that our CEO lives and breathes by the reporting he does in Velixo. So it's how he's running iTech right now. It's wonderful. So yeah, there's everybody loves it. So yeah, right. Anthony, this is the big pull, huh?
Come on, big. This is action time right now.
Yeah, it is. So just a reminder, so it's a $50 Amazon gift card that we are doing today. So let's start this. Let's go. I love doing this. We did this in Acumatica Summit this year, and now we just addicted to this wheel. I don't know. I'm not a gambler, but there's something about this. Ellen Graham, is she in there?
Ellen Graham.
All right, Ellen Graham. Is she here? Yeah, she is actually. Perfect. Excellent. All right, so Ellen, I will send you an email after the webinar to give you your gift card. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining. We can start the Q&A period. Let's do this.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on your win, Ellen. And yeah, I was just quickly browsing through the chat. I can see most of the questions got answered already. When distributing these reports, are the drop-down live to the recipient? Do they need an Acumatica login to use the drop-downs? I am assuming this was the drill down question, right, Nancy?
Yep. It was. Yeah, no, so you did such a great job. Thank you for showcasing Velixo and all of its power. And I know we're just scratching the surface because I know you guys are continuing to innovate on your end. Once again, Amy, myself, Robin are all available. If you guys have any other questions or would like to do a deep dive demonstration, we'd be happy to arrange that for you. Hamza, Anthony, thank you so much for taking the time to be our first webinar kickoff of 2025. So we're gonna step this up, everybody on the call, and we're gonna get you guys some more content and more relevant ISVs that we can showcase, just like Velixo, and we're excited you're here with us for the journey. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any one of us. So thanks everybody. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.